My name is Emily Harper, and I thought I knew what betrayal felt like until the day I found the vial hidden in my stepmother's vanity. It was small, no bigger than a perfume sample, with a handwritten label that read, "For E." The liquid inside shimmered under the bathroom light, a sickly green that made my stomach twist. I was 6 months pregnant, my belly just starting to show, and the world I thought I knew was about to unravel. It started 3 months ago, in the sprawling suburbs of Raleigh, North Carolina. Our house was the kind of place you'd see on a real estate brochure. White picket fence, manicured lawn, and a porch swing that creaked in the evening breeze. My dad, Michael Harper, had built a good life for us after Mom died 10 years ago. I was 16 then, and the grief carved a hole in me that never quite filled. But Dad? He moved on. Too fast if you ask me. By the time I was 18, he'd married Vanessa. Vanessa Cole was everything I wasn't. Polished, poised, with a smile that could charm a snake. She was a former interior designer who'd traded mood boards for yoga retreats and charity galas. At 38, she was closer to my age than Dad's, which only made things weirder. I was 26 now, living back home after a messy breakup in Charlotte, trying to piece my life together, and then I found out I was pregnant. The father, Jake, was long gone, a bartender with a grin that promised more than he could deliver. I didn't care. This baby was mine, a tiny spark of hope in a world that kept trying to break me. Dad was thrilled, already planning a nursery in the guest room. Vanessa, she smiled that tight, perfect smile and said all the right things. "We're so happy for you, Emily," she'd coo, her manicured nails brushing my arm. But her eyes, they never matched her words. I should have seen the signs sooner. The way she'd linger when I drank my morning tea, watching me over the rim of her coffee mug. The way she'd ask about my prenatal vitamins, her voice syrupy with concern. "You're taking them, right? Can't be too careful." I thought she was just being her usual, overbearing self. I was wrong. The day I found the vial, I wasn't snooping. Not really. Vanessa had asked me to grab her pearl earrings from her vanity while she was at some fundraiser. I'd always avoided her room. It smelled like her lavender perfume, and the mirrors made everything feel too exposed. But I went in, rifling through her drawers, when my fingers brushed against something cold and smooth. The vial. I froze, staring at the label. "For E," my initials. My heart pounded, a dull roar in my ears. I uncapped it, catching a faint, bitter scent, like almonds, but sharper. My hands shook as I slipped it into my pocket, my mind racing. Was this what I thought it was? And if it was, what did she plan to do with it? I didn't confront her, not yet. I needed proof. Vanessa was clever, the kind of woman who could talk her way out of anything. So I started watching her, every move, every glance. I noticed things I hadn't before. The way she'd hover in the kitchen when I ate. The way she'd insist on making my smoothies to help with the pregnancy. I stopped drinking anything she touched. I'd pour her smoothies down the sink when she wasn't looking, claiming I'd finished them. I felt like I was losing my mind, second-guessing every bite, every sip. Dad didn't notice a thing. He was too busy with his law firm, coming home late with that tired smile I loved. "You two getting along?" he'd ask, kissing Vanessa's cheek while I nodded like a good daughter. I wanted to scream, to tell him everything, but what could I say? "Your wife might be trying to poison me." He'd think I was paranoid, hormonal, crazy. I had to be sure. A week later, I got my chance. Vanessa was hosting one of her charity teas in the backyard. All pastel tablecloths and fake laughter. I wasn't invited. Too pregnant, too awkward for her perfect image. But I used the chaos to slip into her office, a room she kept locked unless she was working. I'd seen her hide the key under a vase once, and my hands trembled as I turned the lock. Her desk was pristine, not a paper out of place. I checked the drawers, the shelves, anything that might hold answers. Then I found it, a leather-bound journal tucked behind a stack of design magazines. The pages were filled with her elegant handwriting, notes about events, budgets, and then halfway through something else. E's pregnancy is a problem, she'd written. M can't see it, but it changes everything. The trust fund, the house, it's all at risk. She's not even his real daughter, not by blood. Why should she get it all? I've worked too hard for this. My breath caught. Not his real daughter, that was a lie. Dad had raised me since I was a baby. Even after Mom's affair came to light, he'd chosen me, loved me. But Vanessa didn't care about truth. She cared about money. Dad's estate was worth millions. And my baby, his first grandchild, would inherit a chunk of it, unless something happened to us. The next page was worse. The solution is simple. Small doses, untraceable. She'll lose the baby first, then her strength. No one will suspect. M will grieve, but he'll have me. I slammed the journal shut, my vision blurring with tears. She wasn't just after my baby. She wanted me gone. I took photos of the pages with my phone, my hands shaking so badly I could barely hold it. I had proof now, but what was I supposed to do? Go to the police? They'd laugh me out of the station. Vanessa was Raleigh's darling, the perfect wife, the perfect stepmother. I was just the pregnant, emotional daughter with a wild story. That night I couldn't sleep. Every creak of the house made me jump. Every shadow felt like her. I kept the vial hidden in my sock drawer, wrapped in a scarf. I didn't know what was in it, but I wasn't taking chances. The next morning, I drove to a pharmacy across town and bought a home toxin test, something that might show if the liquid contained harmful substances. I didn't know if it would work, but I had to try. Back home, I locked myself in the bathroom and poured a drop of the liquid into a cup. The test was useless. It only checked for basic chemical compounds, like those found in household cleaners. I needed a lab, someone who could analyze it without asking too many questions. I searched online, finding a private lab in Durham that did discreet testing for personal concerns. It cost half my savings, but I mailed them a sample that afternoon, using a fake name. The wait was agony. Vanessa was home more often now, her eyes sharper, like she knew I was on to her. She'd ask questions, casual but pointed. "You look pale, Emily. Are you feeling okay?" I'd force a smile, my stomach churning. I started eating out, claiming I had cravings, anything to avoid her food. Dad noticed my distance, but chalked it up to pregnancy stress. "You need to rest," he'd say, oblivious to the war brewing under his roof. The lab results came back 5 days later, emailed to a burner account I'd set up. I sat in my car, parked at a gas station, and opened the file. The liquid was a mix of herbal extracts, including something called pennyroyal. I Googled it, and my heart stopped. Pennyroyal was an old remedy for inducing miscarriage, toxic in high doses. It could make you sick, weak, even kill you if you got too much. The lab noted it was diluted, meant to work slowly, so no one would suspect foul play. I wanted to scream, to drive home and shove the results in Vanessa's face. But I had to be smart. She was dangerous, and I was running out of time. My baby was still safe. I'd felt her kick that morning, a tiny flutter that gave me strength. But Vanessa wasn't going to stop. I needed a plan. I started by telling my best friend, Sarah, everything. She was the only person I trusted, a nurse who'd seen enough drama to believe me. She came over when Vanessa was out, her face pale as I showed her the journal photos and the lab results. "You need to get out of that house," she said, "now." "I can't," I whispered. "Dad won't believe me without proof he can see. And if I leave, she'll spin it, make me look unstable. I have to catch her." Sarah didn't like it, but she helped me set a trap. We bought a nanny cam, a tiny thing disguised as a phone charger. I plugged it into the kitchen outlet where Vanessa made her smoothies. If she tried anything, we'd have it on video. I also started recording our conversations on my phone, hiding it in my pocket during her concerned chats. Every word she said was evidence. The trap worked faster than I expected. 2 days later, the nanny cam caught her. She was in the kitchen, alone, blending my special smoothie. I watched the footage on Sarah's laptop, my heart in my throat. Vanessa glanced around, then pulled a small bottle from her purse, the same green liquid. She poured a few drops into the blender, her face calm, like she was adding sugar. She even hummed as she did it. I had her, but it wasn't enough. I needed Dad to see, to believe. So I waited until Vanessa was at another event, then sat him down in the living room. My hands shook as I showed him the video, the journal photos, the lab results. His face went from confusion to horror, his eyes locked on the screen, as Vanessa poisoned my drink. "Emily," he whispered, his voice breaking. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "I didn't know how," I said, tears streaming down my face. "I was scared you wouldn't believe me." He pulled me into a hug, the kind he hadn't given me since I was a kid. "I'm so sorry," he said. "This ends now." Dad confronted Vanessa that night. I stayed upstairs, listening through the baby monitor Sarah had lent me. Vanessa denied everything at first, her voice smooth as silk. "Michael, she's unstable. Pregnancy hormones, you know how it is." But Dad wasn't having it. He played the video, and her excuses crumbled. She tried to cry, to beg, but he was done. "I want you out," he said, his voice cold. "And you're lucky I'm not calling the police." She left that night, her suitcase slamming into the trunk of her car. I watched from my window, my hand on my belly, feeling my baby kick. We were safe, for now. The weeks that followed were quiet, but not easy. Dad and I talked more than we had in years, rebuilding what Vanessa had tried to break. He hired a lawyer to protect the estate, making sure my baby and I were secure. The police didn't press charges. There wasn't enough evidence for a conviction. And Vanessa was already gone, vanished to some other city. But I didn't care. She was out of our lives. I still check my food, my drinks, my locks. Some habits die hard. But every time I feel my baby move, I remember why I fought. My name is Emily Harper, and I'm a survivor. Vanessa thought she could take everything from me, but she forgot one thing. A mother's love is stronger than poison.
If Emily's story of outsmarting her stepmother's chilling betrayal had you on the edge of your seat, or even shaking your head in disbelief, give this video a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next gripping tale of courage, deception, or epic comebacks. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever faced a toxic family situation like Emily did? Or maybe you've got a story about standing up for yourself when the odds were stacked against you. Drop it below. Let's get the conversation started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.